Hey guys, welcome to my video guide on Ultimate Bahamut HL. Since some of my crew members have requested it, I decided to just upload one of my runs as an example. Hopefully it will make newcomers more comfortable at the run when they first attempt it, start it out. And yeah, and hopefully they make minimum honors, which I assume is around 300k in this run. Yeah, just waiting on some people to join right now. I'm using some buffs. And let's get to it. So when it's 5-6, usually the last person coming in, they would do a countdown starting at 5. So, and this is for the whole party to get an additional blue pot. That will definitely help during the run. I guess there are some difficulties, or... Oh, last person's probably re-rolling for a summon or something. Anyway, yeah. Once the countdown starts, usually you pub around near the end, just so another person doesn't come in and sabotage your run or anything. Do note, if you're doing it with crew members, only one person will get the potion if you pub it to crew. So here I just pubbed it to friends. So when the last person comes in, make sure they're debuffs, and then you can start using your nukes, and then it's probably safe to attack until the first trigger. First trigger here is at 95%. So 95%, Bahamut's gonna cast Daedalus Wing, which is just like an AoE wind move. Does around 10,000 damage. So Phalanx is probably preferred. Here we go. And once everyone goes through the trigger, you can use the OK sticker. So then one person can cast Dispel on that buff that the Ultimate Bahamut has. I believe that's the uplifted buff. From 100% to 85%, Bahamut has a chance to mark one of your allies with the target debuff. Make sure you clear it ASAP, otherwise you'll eat Regenlave, which will probably wipe your party and do a lot of damage. Newcomers are usually scared of attacking, pressing the orange button, because they don't know how much damage Bahamut will do. But I can tell you that it's probably safe to attack right now, probably until 75, which is when it changes to AoE attacks. The trigger at 85% is Deadly Flare. There are 2 fire Deadly Flares in the whole raid, one at 85 and one at 55. The second Deadly Flare hurts more than the second one, so you can full cut the second one, but you can probably get away with just a Phalanx for the first one. Here I carry Substitute, just because I was more comfortable with Substitute. Normally that free slot is either Substitute, Clarity, or Dispel. More common option is Clarity. So after Deadly Flare, there's 2 debuffs on you, so cast Clarity when possible. Usually sages have Clarity, so it's all good. So at 80%, it will go full charge diamonds. If there's a water user, Quattro is really good, just so he can use gravity. And yeah, that would probably help, because usually there's one person pushing, and they would probably take in a Deadly Flare, I believe. That's the overdrive Oki. Yeah, okay, it's Deadly Flare. I believe there's also a chance for it to use Daedalus Wing. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. I just received a Deadly Flare. So at 75, it's going to cast, or there's a trigger called Virtuous Verse. Usually if you have a backline, it's going to swap with your backline. But since I don't... Wait, I do have a backline. I have one person in the back line, so it's gonna swap after it does its trigger. And this trigger is a single target earth move, which will hurt. Okay, yeah, I casted mirror images, so unfortunately it swapped with my Sarasa, so my damage output is gonna be really low right now, but I mean, I got carries in this run, I'm just recording. So at 70%, there's another trigger. It's gonna be like AoE light damage, the rage. Usually at this point, when you go through the trigger, you should do the OK sticker. Just so the light user, or sorry, not the light user, the person casting Thor will cast Thor. And then usually if there's a light person with Song 5-star, here's their chance to cast Paralyze. There's the Thor, and there's the Paralyze. So at this point, you just want to auto attack and burn through as many turns as possible in order to get your cooldowns up. Usually sages will burn through their turns in order to cast Panacea. Also, yeah, carrying Dispel will help because of that Purging Light buff that Ultimate Bahamut has right now. Casts like a debuff on you every turn, which is a little annoying, but if you spam through enough turns, they'll get clarity anyway, or disappear anyway. So you want to be careful here, because 55, like I said earlier, is the Deadly Flare. Yep, there's the Phalanx. Nice. Usually after this trigger, you'd want to like top off, whether using a blue potion or use your healers, because 50% is plain damage serious, which is 4 hits of 40% plain damage. Sorry, not 40%, 30% plain damage. Yep, there you go. Usually in this run you'd want to like refresh after every hit in order to make up for the triggers, but I mean, for the sake of recording, I'll just show the whole animation anyway. Alright, in this phase, the DPS phase, there's a trigger every 5%, and you do not want to make Ultimate Bahamut Ogi at 7 charge diamonds, or else the entire raid will fail. But during this phase, Ultimate Bahamut doesn't even attack, so aside from triggers. So it's also a good time to get your cooldowns up too, assuming the raid doesn't go as fast. Usually in this phase, if your party DPS is on the lower side, Typhon will help, because Typhon will clear all the charge diamonds. So I didn't mention earlier, but 45% was Elemental Serious, and at 40% here is another plain damage Serious. The Elemental Serious you can probably take in with the Phalanx, it doesn't do that much damage, but make sure you top off before the 40%, because it's another 4 hits of 30% of your health. So upcoming 35 is another Elemental Serious. There you go, Phalanx. Go through the turn. So at 30%, there is a trigger, but it doesn't do any damage. Instead, take the Serious. There you go, 30% hit. So yeah, at 30% you just want to like attack and go through it. Usually if there's a Thor, like a third Thor, they can Thor immediately at 30. And then watch out for the 28% because it's also full charge diamonds. There's the Phalanx. Or you can also use Typhon for this phase too. Or sorry, this trigger. If you do not use Typhon for the DPS phase. And then there's a buff, the triple attack. The spell will help. It's good. Yeah, you see here, I'm trying to kill one of my members on purpose to get Sarasa out again. Yeah, it was unfortunate she was, like, gone ever since 75%. Usually people don't run backlines, but, I mean... I don't know why I still run the backline, actually. Anyway, the next trigger's at 22%. 22% is just an 8k damage AoE water. It will wipe party debuffs, though. There you go. Usually you would want to save your burst for the 15%, which is Skyfall, to immediately pass through 15 and go straight to 10. But yeah, I have other carries to do that for me, so I'm just gonna do an early burst here. Yep, that was 22%. It will wipe party debuffs. There you go. So yeah, most people will prepare their nukes here. My party is not meant to go through Skyfall because I do not have the spell. After Skyfall, there will be 2 local buffs that Ultimate Bahamut has. One of them is Purging Light, the other one is the Ruination Ray, which does plane damage. It's basically like lightning through the sky. But yeah, you'd want 100% cuts for this, by the way, Skyfall. So if you don't have like an MLB Alexiel, if you don't have Athena, people carry like a Dark Bunkle. So yeah, over here right now, everyone's like having their nukes ready. And then we just need a few people to go through the 15 in order to chunk it down a little bit for the nukes to happen. I guess there's some miscommunication. Also, bringing Thor here will help for the 10%. The person who is Thoring 10% will stop attacking at 15%, and then after the whole party goes through the 10%, which is Cosmic Collision, just multi hits of multi-element, it will remove debuffs and will wipe your party buffs. So after everyone goes through the 10%, the person Thoring will cast Thor, and then they come back attacking at the 5%. The reason why they stop attacking at 15% is because once you use your summon at 15% and go through it, Skyfall, you will not be able to use any more summons throughout the whole raid. So, just be careful of that. Yeah, there's the 15. I believe only one person is going through the 15, so again, we're still waiting. Apologies for the weird cut. At this point, I was just like, okay, screw it. I'm just gonna help the other sage that went through. Since I don't even have my burst up anyway, so I won't even be too much of use. Yeah, see the 2 local debuffs, and then the nukes came in. I believe 2 people unleashed their full chains. Yeah, that did a lot of damage. So over here, 10% cast Phalanx. Yep. After 10%, press OK. And then Thor, after 5 members going through that, says OK. Thor person casts Thor, which is right here. And then there's a trigger at 5%. It's another Deadly Flare. 15k AoE Dark. Yeah, at this point, you just keep spamming attack. Try to will it down. Yep, it's Deadly Flare. So yeah, I took this without any failings or substitute. And yeah, this is what happens. Your whole party will die. But luckily my party finished it off, so. Since I was recording, my turn count is a little low right now, but usually you've burned through maybe 40 turns by the end of the raid. Oh, I got a Damascus Drain. Nice. And yeah. Hopefully that video guide helps. It was a little fast because my party was pretty strong, but I mean, hopefully I covered everything. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys.